So you're still in it. You're still in the mix, and you've put it out this track, Goddess Delusion.
Yeah.
Fucking classic.
Yeah.
What spurred that? Like
I said, I've been very involved with the personal development world, the New Age spiritual world, and in specific, the Tantra community is the realm where I've played a lot as well. So just lots of different retreats and workshops and putting on and being part of. So I really got amongst that community in its various forms between sort of north side, Melbourne, Byron, Bali, California. So I had a good journey and experience of New Age spirituality, I guess, and particularly the rise of this, which I've very much been a supporter of, the kind of goddess culture.
a woman empowerment.
Yeah, particularly through the spiritual and female tantric and embodiment kind of worlds. I've been a big part of those worlds, and often very adoringly, but at a certain point, I think I got to this place of there's a lot of nonsense in this thing. There's a lot of bullshit going down in the name of New Age spirituality, but also in the name of like the feminine rising, And it's interesting, I think, throughout my Tantra journey and my own internal work, I think I actually reached this point. I was in Bali when I wrote that song, of all places. And I feel like I reached this point where it's like my own feminine was coming online, like my own inner feminine had landed to the point where I was no longer kind of pedestaling these external expressions of the feminine. So a lot of this kind of trend that I had been like, oh, it's so amazing. I started to be like, there's a lot of bullshit going on here,
Well, we do know because we're in Byron.
Yeah, well, that's why we know that.
Yeah. And so I've got a name for that as well, the Instagram Shamans.
Yes, yeah, totally get what you're talking about.
Yeah. And they come in the shape of the cacao priestesses, and one's even claiming to be the white buffalo calf woman, or fashionista. I was like, are you guys got like full-time camera people with you? Like every shot is just off the hook.
Yeah, like high quality production.
High quality production.
Yeah.
It's the the feathers in the right place, and the drum and the dresses, and it's like this is a full-time gig.
Yeah.
Just running that program. And so that's really what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really calling out spiritual materialism, I guess. Like that it's not just the women, like we all as a culture of the New Age itself in general, we're very guilty of identifying a tradition or a practice or a thing and then kind of crystallizing that into an identity or a fashion statement or a business opportunity. And not that there's anything actually wrong with any of those things, but to conflate a certain look with spirituality or a certain program or a certain anything with spirituality itself, to me is kind of an illusion. And I think that's really was going on there, is kind of like just wanting to call out the illusion,
Like lotus circles.
Yes, there's a few references to that in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
pyramid schemes. Is there any others that I don't know about? Like,
I think there's a few versions of the gifting circle. I think it's got a few models.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that if you're inside of it, it makes perfect sense. I guess I've never been in one, but I've dated plenty of women, and there would be this stage of like, oh, I've gotten this invite to this thing. What do you think? And I'm like, wait, let me guess. So do you put in X amount of money and then later on you'll get more money than that? Yeah, isn't it amazing? And I'm like, so what's going to happen to the last people who join? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, obviously this has to keep going for it to work, and it can't, if you run a computer simulation, eventually the last people to join will all get ripped off, right? And it's like, don't bring maths and logic into this.